Okay, so the cast of characters were me, my father, and my dad's two brothers, and they used to fight over being close to my grandfather because he presumably had a lot of money, and when he died there was this sort of like jockeying for position to be the favorite so that they would get the money. So the first story, my father, he was the kind of guy that, you know, if anyone had that father that you'd rather he beat the crap out of you instead of lecturing you, he was that father. Like, you would get in the, like, he would say, like, come on, let's go to the car, let's go to Denny's, and we're going to go out and get something to eat. And you're like, cool, we're going to bond over moon over my hammy. And instead, you'd get in the car, and he would turn off the radio, and you would just kind of watch the antenna go down, and you're like, shit. And then you would just kind of casually say, I saw your report card. And you're like, how can I spontaneously burst into flames right now? Like, is there any way out of this? But of course there wasn't. So you sort of felt like the dog being on the way to the vet. Like there was no escape. So my grandfather, to explain how my dad got like that, he was just like a tough old guy. And when I finally was able to drive, I thought, I'm going to do the adult thing, and I'm going to go and visit Grandpa the way that Dad would go and visit Grandpa. So I went by myself for the first time, and I got to his house, and he opened the door, and he said, come on in and sit down, and I'll be with you in a second. So he was kind of like right over here, and I was like right over here, because it was kind of like a small little one-layer flat. And the nurse said, he'll be right with you in a second, honey. We're just going to shave him. So then I heard my grandfather say, don't worry about it, he's nobody. So then you sit there, yeah, it is so sad, thank you. So you sit there and you think to yourself, you're like, son of a bitch, like, what do I do? Do I just get up and leave? Do I act like I didn't hear it? And I thought, well, if nothing else, at the very least, I know I don't have to make this trip again. This is a one and done. So we go over and we sit on the couch, and I don't know what to say to the guy, because usually, like, Dad's there as a buffer. So I said, Grandpa, how is everything? And he said, what do you mean, how is everything? I sit on the couch and wait to die. How are you? Similar? I don't know. What do you say? So we sit there, and it's silent for a really long time. And Wheel of Fortune comes on, and I thought, well, I'm gonna make them laugh. And it was this really long puzzle, and they said A, and they're like 2 A's came up, and I said, don't forget to walk the dog with a red leash. And he said, you have to wait for more letters. Okay, well that was a bomb. So finally my dad just out of the blue shows up, and it was like, thank God, because like I just couldn't wait to see anybody. So he comes in, my grandfather, Israel Ginsburg, by the way, Jewish, and he goes in the back room and he says, and we could hear him from the other room say, I gotta find some money. That's the only reason the son of a bitch comes to visit. So now my dad, who I'm intimidated by already, says, when he comes out with the money, don't take it. Well, now I have anxiety. I'm thinking, what the heck am I going to do when this guy comes out and hands me money? So he walks out and he says, here's some money. And I said, I'm good. He said, what do you mean you're good? I said, I don't need any. And he said, who doesn't need money? So then I kind of just grabbed the money, ran, and ran outside and vomited, scared to death. And well, a couple years later, the guy got what he wanted and what everyone wanted, and he died on the couch. And it turned out he didn't have any money at all. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year.